Network automation is going through this huge shift right now. For years, it's been all about complex scripts and command lines, a world really only for specialists. But that is all changing, and we're going to break down exactly how. I mean, just think about it. What if, instead of wrestling with a complicated script just to figure out what's going on, you could just ask your network a question, like you're just talking to it? It sounds a little like science fiction, right? Well, based on this Cisco hands-on lab, it's the reality we're unpacking today.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start with the problem, what we call the automation bottleneck. Then we'll walk through how this new approach gives you solutions right out of the box, lets you build your own custom stuff with digital Legos, and finally, gets you to a point where you can literally just talk to your network.
Okay, so first up, let's really set the stage. Because the old way of doing things, while it was powerful, it created a massive bottleneck for IT teams.
And this slide really nails the shift. On one side, you've got the old way, right? Complex scripts that maybe only one or two people on the team could actually write and manage. But on the other side is the new way, a simple visual canvas that empowers the entire IT team. It turns that specialist bottleneck into something that actually speeds up your operations.
So, how do you even get started with this? Well, the first step, which you get to experience in Lab 1, right inside the Meraki Dashboard, is all about using what's already built for you. Think of it like automation that's ready to go straight out of the box.
And get this, it is so simple to get going. It's basically a 3-click process. First, you just flip a switch to turn the features on. Then, you tell the system, hey, you're allowed to talk to these networks. And finally, you just pick a pre-built job from a list, fill in a couple of details, and hit run. That's literally it.
So, after that super simple process, how many lines of code did you actually have to write to pull live, real-time data from your network? The answer is a big, fat 0. Nada. Not a single line. And that right there is the power of a true no-code approach.
All right, those pre-built workflows are an awesome start, no question. But what happens when you need something really specific, something tailored just for your environment? Well, as you'll see in Lab 2, that's when you get to break out the digital Legos and start building. And these Lego bricks, they've actually got a name. They're called atomic activities. Just think of each one as a single pre-built block that does one thing really well, like a block to get a list of devices, or one to update a specific setting. These are the basic pieces you'll use for all your custom creations.
And you've got this whole box of different bricks to play with. There are action blocks for making changes, data tools for crunching information, and even these really powerful logic blocks like if this, then that conditions and loops that let you build some seriously sophisticated stuff. And the way you put it all together is on something called the workflow canvas. Honestly, it's way more like building a flowchart than it is like coding. You're just visually building out your automation by dragging and dropping these blocks, connecting the dots, all without typing a single command. Okay, now we get to the part that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. We've used pre-built workflows, and we've built our own. Lab 3 is where you see what happens when you plug all of that power into a conversational AI.
I mean, look at this. You can get super specific. A question like this would normally have an operator clicking through, 5, 6, maybe 7 different menus? Here, you just ask, in plain English. And boom, just like that. The AI assistant understands exactly what you want, goes and gets the info, and even formats it into this nice, clean table for you. Can you imagine the amount of time that saves? But right here, this is the real kicker. This is the game changer. Because you're not just asking questions anymore. Now you're giving commands. With one simple phrase, you can tell the AI assistant to run one of those complex custom workflows you just built. And in the background, that whole set of digital Legos you snap together is now off and running. It could be renaming networks, updating device configs, deploying new wireless settings, all of it kicked off from one simple conversational command. It's incredible.
So let's just take a step back for a second. When you put all of these pieces together, what does it all really mean? Well, it's not an exaggeration to say it's a revolution in how we manage our most critical infrastructure.
So what's the big payoff? Well, you empower your entire IT team, not just the scripting gurus. That means you can solve problems in minutes instead of hours, which just dramatically accelerates everything. You get this amazing AI-driven efficiency just by talking to your network. And it all comes together as a true platform, a central spot to manage systems from Cisco, Catalyst, IC, even third-party tools.
Now, everything we've just walked through, this isn't just theory. It's something you can actually try for yourself in that Meraki dashboard we mentioned.
So if you're interested in getting this hands-on experience, the next step is super simple. Just reach out to your Cisco representative, and they can reserve a lab pod for you.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We're moving from a world where we command our networks to a world where we can just converse with them. So if your infrastructure could truly understand you, what would be the very first thing you'd ask?